Big Ten play is in full force and Nebraska is on a roll. With a balanced attack and a stifling defense, the Huskers ride a 10-match winning streak into a Sunday matinee. Iowa and Nebraska. Big Ten volleyball is next. From the Bob Devaney Sports Center in Lincoln, Nebraska, we are ready for Big Ten volleyball as the Iowa Hawkeyes travel and look for their first ever win against the Nebraska Cornhuskers, ranked number 2 in the nation. And hello again, everyone, along with former Nebraska standout Kathy Wieskamp. I'm Larry Putney. Great to have you with us here for a Sunday matinee between Iowa and Nebraska. The Huskers on a roll as of late. They have won 10 straight. A lot of that thanks to their defense and Lexi Rodriguez.
Lexi Rodriguez, Defensive Player of the Week, is outstanding and continues to impress. Some of the big shots she's been taking out there and plays them up with great control, but her chasing down balls, getting up tips, she's just been phenomenal, and we've talked about it many times. Defense wins games. Lexi Rodriguez is helping the Huskers win games.
And the offense has certainly seen an uptick as well. Bergen Riley really leading the show right now for the Huskers.
Bergen Riley's doing a tremendous job, again, diversifying Nebraska's offense, but also getting involved in Nebraska's offense. She's been a threat up at the net. She's averaging just shy of a kill per set, but we would be remiss if we didn't talk about her outstanding defensive play as of late. She's been tough up the net blocking, but she is digging balls and actually is only second to Lexi Rodriguez in digs in this season. So she, again, continues to expand her impact for this team.
And that Berg to Beeson connection has been terrific as of late. Over the last 8, Beeson hitting over 300. It's Iowa, Nebraska coming up from the Devaney Center in Lincoln. We've got a Sunday afternoon here at the Bob Devaney Sports Center in Lincoln. A breezy one outside and a packed house inside the Devaney Sports Center as we get ready for Iowa and Nebraska. Pre-game festivities here at the Devaney Center. The light show always popular with the fans. And the Huskers looking to move their win streak to 11 in a row against the Hawkeyes this afternoon. Look at the starting lineups for Nebraska, and starting Taylor Landfair and Layla Blackwell in for Krause and Andy Jackson. For the Huskers, John Cook in his 25th season on the bench at Nebraska, 30th overall, picked up win number 700 a couple of matches ago. His squad number 2 in the country. Iowa Hawkeyes have never beaten Nebraska in the history of the program. They are all-time 0-38 against Nebraska. There's a look at the lineup, including Malu Garcia, who is a freshman right side for Iowa, and she can bring it out of Hawaii. There is Jim Barnes, 3rd season. He's a program changer. And already, Iowa started off the Big Ten Conference this year at 2-0 with wins on the road against Maryland and Rutgers. Dropped a tough 3-setter against Washington, in which they had an opportunity late in a couple of those sets to pull off the victory. But, you know, in his 6 different stops, they've all kind of been program changers. There's Andy Jackson, who is in street clothes here this afternoon, out for precautionary reasons. They expect to have her back on Friday when Purdue comes calling here at the Devaney Center. Becca Alec runs the middle, point early for Nebraska.
Establishing the middle right from the get-go. Riley finds Becca. Becca's doing a great job in that transition, making herself eligible.
Olivia Mauk now to serve for the Huskers. Run the middle, good swing and the kill in the middle by Gracie Gibson. Gibson out of San Antonio, Texas.
Gibson sliding away from that setter a little bit into between the gap of the 2 blockers and sneaks it through.
Gracie hitting .358 on the year. Pushed outside, Harper Murray with her first swing. And the kill for Harper. She's 1 for 1.
Harper's really kind of stepped things up lately with her attack. She's been very aggressive, making some great shots, been confident up there at the net, swinging hard and aggressive.
Leads Nebraska, averaging more than 3 kills per set. Tip there, Rodriguez covers. Behind, here's Beeson's first swing, in Nebraska on fire here early. They're batting 1,000, 3 swings, 3 kills.
Just consistent, and here's what we talked about in the open, just some great ups and defensive play by Lexi Rodriguez, and then the finish.
Overpass, and another kill from Merritt Beeson.
Great start here for Huskers, serving really tough here, but again, efficient with their swings, making smart decisions out there, and really causing a lot of problems for the Hawkeyes already.
Tough serve by Rodriguez. Good hustle there by Garcia to keep it alive. 3 ball opportunity. Outside, Harper with the tip. Good up by the back. Urquhart goes off of the block. And there's a kill by Michelle Urquhart, the outside for the Hawkeyes.
Urquhart really is a phenomenal tool hitter. She knows what she has in front of her and hits very intentional. Look at using that outside hand. You can see her body finishes through towards the out of bounds. Talk about finishing right there, Layla Blackwell. Great turn, take that ball to that setter side of the court, and that quick transition and that quick attack.
Blackwell getting the start with Andy Jackson being out for precautionary reasons. Layla has been playing well, hitting .450 on the year when she's had her opportunities. She's shown the high-level player that she is, the transfer out of San Diego. And there is that freshman from Hawaii, Malu Garcia.
Malu was the freshman player of the week in the conference as well. She had an outstanding first week in conference play, but she really is their go-to girl. They use her a lot. She's got a lefty swinging on that right side. She'll swing from the back row. she's a really dynamic player, really fit in right away.
150 kills on the year is just a freshman. That leads Iowa. For Garcia, she'll push that across. Riley, a lot of options. She'll go on the slide. And Layla Blackwell with another kill.
I love Layla coming around on that backside. And again, splitting the blockers, having to work them pin to pin, but she's doing a nice job getting it and finding the holes in the weak area of the block.
Served by Harper Murray. A little bit too tight to the net to handle, and Blackwell puts it down.
Got to be up in that base position. Blackwell was there, hands high, ready for that ball as it came right up to her quickly.
One of the things that has plagued Nebraska in previous years is playing to the level of competition. Obviously, Iowa much improved this year, 2-1 currently in the Big Ten Conference, but not at the level of Nebraska. And early on, we're seeing Nebraska playing at a very high level, hitting above, almost 700.
Right, and that's a mindset, and a focus as they come out. And again, if a team is playing at a slower tempo, that is sometimes an adjustment. You're used to playing and practicing every day at that fast pace. That's just being very intentional, knowing your scouting report, knowing we got to pause and hold a little bit longer on the blocks, etc.
Another swing and another kill for Layla Blackwell. She is 3 for 3.
Blackwell is just doing a fantastic job. She's really good about coming around on the backside, but this shot down the line, that deep back corner, very difficult for opponent to pick up.
You would wonder why, Layla Blackwell came from San Diego, was part of that Final Four team. Why would she come and play behind Rebecca Alec, Andy Jackson? She said she loved that experience, being in the Final Four. She loved the competitive. She loved being at the highest level and wanted to experience that again. One of the reasons she chose to come to Nebraska, knowing she'd probably have an opportunity to make a run.
Right, and the other thing is, Ani Evans, who was a Nebraska player, went and played with her, and Ani spoke very highly of her experience here, and she really said, I want to be a part of that. I want to experience some of those same things too. Again, the culture of Nebraska volleyball. So a couple things I think were a big draw, but I love her intention to play at high level, try and get back there and be a part of a team and play a role.
And from Nebraska's perspective, right, it adds depth at a position where they struggled last year to have depth when they had an injury. Remember, Rebecca Alec went out for a while last year, struggled in that middle when she was out, but now you have someone the quality of Layla Blackwell able to step in while, Jackson is healing.
Yeah, is on the sideline at this point. And she's fit in seamlessly. And I think the key that you mentioned earlier, when she's had her opportunities, she has excelled and she has done exactly what you want that next person in line who's getting that opportunity to be on the court to be ready and make a difference.
Nebraska's middles right now combined 5 swings, 5 kills. Pretty good for those 2 middles for Nebraska.
Absolutely, and middles, getting involved in the offense is just such a huge advantage in the big picture of diversifying your offense and keeping the block honest.
Landfair yet to pick up a kill. She's had a couple of swings, but also 2 errors on those swings. Jenna Meitzler is setting for Iowa. She serves now.
True freshman.
And another block on that right side. Good block by Malu Garcia.
Garcia is also a great blocker. She does a nice job. She is a lefty, so her dominant hand, she's up there and being strong and pushing solid.
Good pass. And quick. Nebraska's middles now 6 for 6.
Nebraska is truly clicking in their timing with the middles. Rebecca is coming in front with most of her attacks, and we've seen Blackwell come around on the backside, so the middle blockers have to really recognize that and make sure they're kind of keying in and sliding and keeping track of the 2 middles and the variations of the attack point.
And another swing and a kill from that right side. Malu Garcia, the lefty, playing on the right side. What an advantage.
And I'm so impressed with her confidence. I mean, she's out there, she's being aggressive. I've had a chance to see her play a couple other matches. She steps out there and has just done a tremendous job in the lineup and doing great things for this team. Like you said, leading offensively.
Good up by Lombardi in the back. And then a kill for Urquhart again. The Hawkeyes have evened it at 10 here in the first set.
And Urquhart, big fist pump on that. She's usually pretty chill. That face that you see now, she doesn't change that expression very often. So she knows that's a big deal, and excited and leading this team.
Hawkeyes right now hitting .462 as Merritt Beeson picks up her third kill.
Beeson, yeah, just good decision by Bergen Riley. And then Beeson finishes it off, takes that seam shot.
Tough serve by Rodriguez, and the ace for Rodriguez.
This rotation last time, Nebraska made a short little run here under the serve of Rodriguez. She's really putting pressure in that right back. You can see a lot of congestion back there. The attackers are all pinched up tight in that middle right front. And then that ball's going to be coming from that area to the setter.
See Coach Hook, zone 1, that's right where she goes. Upper Murray. And into the net is called on Iowa. 3-0 run here for the Huskers.
Blocker's just trying to press a little bit there hard, and I think just caught the tape.
Right back to zone 1. Gallus flies in to keep it up. Rodriguez one-handed up. A settable ball. Oh my.
Great up also there by Gallus.
Into the block. Tipped back by Blackwell, who was right there. On the swing, it's wide, and defense leads to offense for the Big Red.
You know, you say that, but again, here it proves true again. If you can frustrate the opponent, keep that ball up, give your team an opportunity to finish it, or the opponent to make a mistake.
Now we're going to zone 2, serve short again.
Again, creating that yo-yo kind of deep and short, just pulling them and yanking them up and back.
Great up there by Gallus on that short serve.
She's good.
That one hits on Nebraska's side, and it ends the Nebraska 4-0 run. Yeah, we mentioned Joy Gallus, the libero for the Hawkeyes, leads the Big Ten. 225 digs on the year.
Yeah, just a graduate senior. She's a transfer from Arizona and immediately made an impact here, and that libero jersey quickly claimed.
Great push to zone 6 there for Merritt Beeson.
Just great court vision. And seeing where the defense was, they were both wide. That middle back area was wide open, and great execution.
Well, let's take a look at the outstanding play of both Rebecca Alec and Layla Blackwell.
Blackwell, 3 out of 3, perfect. See her coming right to the center, but she's been really effective on the backside, coming around, keeping the blockers off balance. They don't know where to target, where to keep track of her, and then you got Becca Alec, a different type of approach, coming in front. Really, again, their effectiveness right now. Layla Blackwell's 3 for 3, 3 for 4, hitting 750. Becca Alec, perfect 3 for 3.
Those are good numbers.
Those are pretty great numbers.
Big sweep in. Malu Garcia, just a freshman, impressive from that right pin off the block. Oh, no. Nope. They're going to say no touch at all.
But I like she changed direction. She's been going a lot of cross court. Again, very smart decision. Just missed the fingertips as she's swinging for the high hands.
And Iowa runs the middle. Winningstall gets the kill. Winningstall transfer out of SMU for Iowa.
Coming in, she's actually ranked second in the Big Ten for blocking, so we've seen her do some great things, but she's also working hard to get involved in that offense and make a difference there as well. She's hitting right at 270 this season, so doing a great job there. Nice.
Bergen Riley.
Talk about her getting involved in the offense, but there, I mean, so much, I guess, of her decoy. She waits, she's right up there. You can see all this open area in the middle of the court. Blockers are focusing here on the attackers, and she just trips them up, sends it right in the middle.
We talked about off the top how much her defense has improved and what a defensive setter she is. As you see, another ace for Nebraska. I think, you know, every bit as much as her defense has improved as her attack. I mean, she is so tricky this year on that second ball.
I think she has always been good at it. I just feel that she is confident and now thinking and can see clearly and is making that strong play.
Huskers on top by 6 here in set number. You know, we're getting to that time of year where it's, you know, we're going to cook some birds here maybe in a month or so. Getting cooler outside.
Hunting season.
Yeah, absolutely. There are the transfers for the Hawkeyes this year. They have certainly brought in a whole new crew. Talking about Gallus from Arizona, Winningstall, the transfer from SMU, a couple of Tulane transfers.
Well, and that speaks a lot about Coach. You know, people wanting to be a part of the program, and Coach Barnes is really, as you mentioned earlier, a builder of programs. And so the opportunity to be a part of that build.
Winningstall on the slide there, not down. Outside, pushed over by Landfair. Out of the back row, good up by Choboy on a tough swing from Garcia. And then set right back as Murray is blocked out of the back row.
Back row attacks, but Iowa did a great job getting a triple block up on Harper Murray. Look at that. Took a lot of the angles away and sealed it up there by Urquhart.
Blackwell went down the line, got the touch, and Layla Blackwell.
I'm going to say great job there by Layla Blackwell to take that short shot. Okay, the serve came over short, but then she got immediately in position to come back and be aggressive. And I also like that Bergen Riley fed it right back to her. Most people are going to think, oh, they're not going to go to her. She just passed that ball as a middle. great decision and great confidence.
Ringstall again. Big by Kennedy Orr. Landfair still looking for her first kill. On the slide, Rebecca Alec. Was there a touch? Officials are getting together. Was there a touch? Was there a touch? Yes, there was. And we may have a challenge here from Jim Barnes. Although the players aren't saying challenge.
Yeah.
So the players must have known they touched.
Yep. There was really no body language indicating that there was not a touch.
Must have gone off Gabby Deary's left arm. Back row. Good up by Choboy. Garcia with another heavy swing.
Great job to save that. That was a tough ball.
And the block is wide off of the hands of Bergen Riley. So Geary with another kill. Gabby Deary out of Burlington.
Deary is one of those players that too can be very terminal up there. So Nebraska's going to need to key in on her as she's in the lineup in that front row.
Alyssa Worden down into the game to serve. And Worden's serve just misses that back line.
That's one of the things, you know, Iowa has really been focusing on is being a tough serving team this year and really making you as an opponent, like in this case, yes, that was out, but they're forcing you to make that call on it and really keeping the pressure on with the serve. Nebraska going right at Urquhart here, trying to keep that pressure on, as we talked about, leading into a situation where the blockers could release and be there in front of the attack.
Well, at one point, this was a 10-10 set number one. Nebraska has gone on a 12-4 run. They are 3 away from taking set number one. Jim Barnes takes the timeout. And the Huskers have been so good from the service line and also in serve receive. Look at, you know, winning that serve pass game, so important, right? And Nebraska just does not get aced. Pittsburgh leads the country. By the way, they're number one in the country. Nebraska number 2. And they are, by the way, number 2 in the country. That's how important it is, right? There's a look at the ABCA rankings. Big Ten holding down 2nd and 3rd spots. The ACC holding down 1 and 4. Now, Nebraska has knocked off Louisville.
And always a great battle with Penn State in conference play. So that'll be ahead and something fun to look forward to.
Nebraska has just made a home in the ABCA poll. They've been ranked in every single poll since its existence back in 1982. And they also have the most weeks inside the top 10. And that streak continuing right now is Nebraska at 566. Stanford, Texas, Penn State, Hawaii, other top programs in that conversation. Back row, tip. Rodriguez flies in to keep it up. Beeson is dug by Urquhart. Pushed back over, kept alive. And the Huskers now 2 away.
Urquhart would love to have that one back. Yep. That is very uncharacteristic for her. And good to see her laughing it off. Moving on, next play.
You saw the eye roll.
Yep. She's really, Coach Barnes says she is the glue for this team. And you can see again, she actually exhibits what you know, you got freshmen out on the court. You know what? Goofy things happen sometimes.
Landfair. Good dig there by Urquhart. The tip try. Oh, from the ground, got it out.
a shot.
Cross-court swing. Wow, what an angle by Beeson.
That is an incredible shot, and really the only shot she had other than using the block. Great defense leads to great offense and points. Look at Beeson finish this. She just had that sliver along the tape.
Set point for Nebraska. Nebraska's Rebecca Alec is called in the net. Point for the Hawkeyes. Set point number 2 upcoming. There's another tendency we've seen this year out of Nebraska. It takes them a few set points to close things out, right?
Yep. It doesn't happen very often on that first try.
Set right back. Riley goes back to Beeson again. The court pulled inside, took a healthy swing, and got the kill. Court out of Virginia Beach, Virginia, the transfer from Tulane.
Yep, her 5th kill, hitting .444. She actually, as the conference play, has really stepped it up.
3rd set point. And Rebecca Alec with the dunk. And Jim Barnes wondering if there was a touch on that one that went into the net. I was wondering the same.
Yeah.
There's no challenge. And Nebraska will win set number 1, 25-17.
And a lot of that due to the middles of Nebraska playing big up front. Rebecca Alec 5 kills, hitting .833.
She was the Big 8 Player of the Year her senior season and ended her Nebraska career as the program's all-time leader in kills and aces and was second in program blocks. During her 4th season, Nebraska Volleyball recorded a 116-20 record, including a 35-1 mark in Big 8 play, winning the conference trophy 4 consecutive years. She also led Nebraska Volleyball to 2 NCAA runner-up finishes, the recipient of the NCAA Today's Top 6 Award, recognizing excellence in academics, athletics, and leadership. She earned her degree from Nebraska in elementary education. This weekend, along with 5 other Husker legends, she was inducted into the Nebraska Athletics Hall of Fame. From Waco, Nebraska, a true trailblazer for Husker volleyball, please welcome back number 14, Virginia Stair.
Well, this weekend, Virginia Stair inducted into the Nebraska Hall of Fame, one of the Husker greats, all-time kills leader when she was done. I believe this 35-1 was the all-time record in the Big 8. She's your teammate.
Yeah, teammate, roommate, and lifetime friend. So much deserved. So proud of her, and got an opportunity to say hello earlier, and so excited that she's receiving this honor.
Rebecca Alwick has been terrific in set one. 833 is her hitting percentage. 5 kills on 6 swings.
Nebraska pretty efficient siding out in that first set. They sided out 77.8%. So that's rolling through and taking charge. Middles, as we mentioned, really leading the charge. Merritt Beeson also getting in there with 5 kills, but 9 out of the 17 kills for Nebraska were out of the middle. You don't say that very often.
That means good first touch, good setting, running a quick offense. There is the first lead of the match for the Hawkeyes.
Checking in to serve for the Hawkeyes, number 10, Olivia Lombardi.
Olivia Lombardi out of Clive, Iowa. Des Moines Christian High School, just a freshman into serve. Beeson got the touch and gets the kill.
High hand shot using that. She's had some holes here. She didn't have a hole, so if you got blockers in front of you, it's very intentional. Swing high at those hands.
And another great swing and beats the block again. Malu Garcia.
Malu Garcia, she's just consistent and really very reliable. She's high, got a high contact point, and we talked about being a lefty. She's in her strong hand side and really opens up, sees the court really well.
Tip right in the middle, and another kill for Rebecca Alwick.
And as you just kind of watch that whole thing unfold, Alec really working hard in transition to be available and an option. And that's what makes her, she was behind, there she came in front. I mean, just mixing things up and really keeping the middle blockers off balance.
Pushed outside, Urquhart into the block, set back over. Bump set goes right back out to Urquhart, who tried to swipe it off the block, but sent down. And then Nebraska with the quick transition. Blackwell got a hand on it and dumped it into the campfire.
And Blackwell that's all she had to do, get her hand on it and get it over there. Both teams were really scrambling, covering, getting scrappy out there on the court. By sending that quick ball over, it doesn't give the defense time to get balanced and ready to play.
Into the net called on the Hawkeyes. That was going to be a tough transition after a really tight pass anyway. Rodriguez continues to serve tough here in the match. She already has 1 ace.
She's been very effective. It's a little different rotation matchup than in first set.
And another ace. That's 2 aces for Rodriguez, and she now has 10 on the season. Nebraska on a 4-0 run. Tight again, one-handed set. Urquhart saves it. Bump set out to Harper Murray, and Harper Murray makes it a 5-0 Nebraska run.
That all stems from that great serve. Lexi Rodriguez is really putting pressure on Urquhart because she's having to pass and then try and get in and attack. So it's limiting the options here for the Hawkeyes offense, or giving them a situation where Nebraska knows where the ball has to go. There she finds a way, good side out for the Hawkeyes. Urquhart going at the seam and catching a weak spot.
6th kill for Michelle Urquhart. She's hitting .417 now. Back to serve is Garcia. Malu has a high top spin jump serve. That time does not clear the net.
She can get that going and really disrupt some serve receive.
Look at the numbers. The serve certainly looks impressive. The numbers, not so much yet. 5 aces and now 24 errors for Garcia on the season.
Just a lot of inconsistencies yet with that.
Yep. And that one into the net by Malu Garcia, who, as you mentioned, is the current Big Ten Freshman of the Week for the Hawkeyes. The last time the Hawkeyes had a Big Ten Freshman of the Week, that was 7 years ago, and it happened to be Bree Orr, the sister of Kennedy Orr. Nebraska in control here in Lincoln. They lead at 8-3 in set number 2.
Nebraska Athletics would like to welcome and salute today's match sponsor, Pepsi. Pepsi is proud to be the official soft drinks of Nebraska.
This sport, it really is true. There is no place in the country like Nebraska when it comes to volleyball. 33 home match winning streak and 330 consecutive regular season sellouts. Ongoing NCAA record for women's sports.
Thank you, Nebraska.
Urquhart tried to punch it deep zone 1, but it's wide. And Nebraska now on an 8-1 run. Good pass on the slide, right back to Whittingham, and that is Whittingstall, and that is pushed wide by Whittingstall.
And great job there by Lexi Rodriguez. She was in position for defense. She had her foot on that outside of the line, right on the line to know to let that go. Great court awareness and positioning.
Out of the back row. He tries to put it down on 2, a little tight to the net. And then Urquhart with the angle, and the swing is wide. And the Huskers on a 10-1 run. And the hitting percentage for Iowa has really dropped over these last few swings.
Absolutely. They're hitting 0, actually negative right now, negative 83 after that last swing. Just struggling, but the serve of Nebraska is really causing that. They're really mixing it up, limiting what options that Iowa has with hitters.
That ends 3 consecutive attack errors by Iowa on the kill by Michelle Urquhart.
Checking in for Iowa, number 9, Gabby Geary. Back serving number 15, Michelle Urquhart.
And Urquhart back to serve. Nebraska with 2 defensive specialists and the libero in the back row. Good short serve there by Urquhart. It'll be a free ball opportunity here for the Hawkeyes. They'll run the quick middle, and Whittingstall gets the kill.
Love that transition play off the free ball. Nice right off the back of Meitzler. And the blockers are freezing, and she just sneaks it between.
Transfer is Whittingstall from SMU. I don't know if Nebraska's heard of SMU volleyball.
It stands out a little bit more maybe than it has in the past. Nebraska's single loss this season.
Blackwell right into the lap of Garcia, who kept it alive. Well, right back to Blackwell again, went wide, and off of Gallus's platform, and a kill for Blackwell.
Big shot there for Blackwell. She really could have taken it any direction. She had both that cross cart or shot, but scrappy defense. Mount coming from that back row, getting up there, getting under that ball, feeds up into the offense.
Pushed outside.
Nice push.
Landfair off the top of the block.
Great up.
Good hustle by Riley. Rolled over by Landfair. Swiped down for net, not down. Blackwell goes back to Landfair again. Back row. Got the kill. Garcia.
Malu Garcia in the back row still is a viable and utilized weapon for the Hawkeyes. She does a great job and a great lead for her to come and drive to that ball.
Hey, there's a kill from Taylor Landfair. Her first kill of the match. Still hitting negative.
Yes, she struggled. She's been struggling to terminate here, and so nice big swing there. Feels good to find the floor.
One kill, 2 errors, negative 100. The number right now for Taylor Landfair. She came into this match though just on a tear. I mean, her season hitting percentage 336, and she's only started 3 matches. This would be the 4th match of the year she started, but she's seen action. Yep. Certainly in matches, sometimes late, sometimes really late in a match.
Right.
23-9, she'll come in.
And again, the volume of swings that she has not been, you know, as some the other outsides either. So efficiency is key there. But she's taken the opportunity coming off of a good match this week. So
the hot hand of Alec continues. 7 kills, 8 swings for Rebecca.
Keep feeding the middles, I'll tell you. Rebecca Alec has just done a tremendous job working the transition and getting around. Here she goes from behind. She likes in front. That's, I guess, her more bread and butter, but she definitely is coming through on the backside as well. Sometimes that's where the open areas and you gotta go.
Oh, great pancake by Orr, and then swiped off the block and a kill by Landfair.
Great play all the way around there. Kennedy Orr firing under that ball, getting it up, but Landfair finishing it with that tool shot, pushing it into the hands of the blocker and throwing it out of bounds.
So another timeout of the floor. Huskers lead it by 10, 16-6 in set 2. Well, here's a look at some of Nebraska's notable wins this year over ranked opponents, and you see those last 4, they've just been dominant, especially the wins over Louisville and Stanford. It was in the middle of that run where Stanford obviously was here, but on the road at Louisville, and they rolled both of those teams.
They came out so focused and so sharp. I think they were, maybe surprised them too that they were ready. I mean, they were that clean in their play in both of those matches.
Coming up in intermission, we'll have more on this young lady, Kennedy Orr, who's been a staple of this program in her senior year now.
One of the special ones, that's for sure. Another big dig there by Kennedy. Just made 2 great defensive plays.
Over the top of the block, but long by Landfair.
Back serving for the Hawkeyes, number 11, 10 on Meitzler.
Setter back to serve. Meitzler with the serve long.
And with Meitzler in the back row, that brings Garcia back up to the front, their #1 weapon. Really trying to get some offense generated. They are still struggling. They're hitting 0-43 this set. So just really need to get something happening. And right there, Deary, nice swing on the outside, tool off the block.
Gabby Deary, Burlington, Iowa. So now back to serve goes Olivia Lombardi. Service errors for Iowa. That is now their 4th, but they've had a couple here in these last few points, so it stands out a little more, maybe than just the 4 that are on the board. Olivia Mauk.
She's just been phenomenal too. Back row, great control of the ball and serve receive.
Look out, says Rebecca Alec.
Alec continues to do great things in this match. That ball fed right up to her. Those are so fun to receive, and just firing it back. And she knows that the setter is sitting right in front of her. She can't go up to block. Therefore, she's got a lot of court to swing at. Garcia again, finding that deep corner shot. Fifth kill there for Garcia. She's hitting right at a little over 100 right now.
The tip is down by Harper Murray. Another shot that she is really, I would say that, but how about her roll shot, her tip shot, her cross-court shot? They've all seemed to improve this year.
Definitely. I think she's really done a great job of the tempo shot in the middle of the court, because she looks like she's going to swing hard and then she changes that up. But here it's really to the placement, seeing where the defense is. You can tip it over, but sometimes there's a person right there knowing where that open area is. Wow.
Good cross-court shot, Mara Beeson with a kill.
She slices that ball right underneath the block. I love that shot where she takes it across. She's taking it back at the setter on the right side, but it's just so sharp, very difficult to stop.
Off the tape, Rodriguez with her 3rd ace of the match.
She's been dynamite from that service line today. Those serves, serving at that tape, that low flat one, generally fall for a service. If they go over the net, they generally fall for an ace. She knew it right away as it was spinning.
Ran the middle, and Bergen tried to keep it alive. It goes off her hand. The kill for the Hawkeyes. Nice swing by Whittingstall.
Whittingstall here in front. She really likes to go behind if she can. It has that option. She does a nice job here hitting at the setter, making her play that ball.
Blackwell in the middle with a commanding kill.
I just love seeing her be successful out on the court. She brings such a positive spirit to this court. She's stepped in and done great things since every opportunity she's had available to her. And that connection has been so sharp too.
Bump right back to Urquhart again, this time a bit off the net. Good up by Mauk. Oh, what a smart play by Riley. I'm not sure if that went off the block or not, but Riley tips that deep corner for a kill.
Offensive-minded setter, knowing where things are, what areas are open. And you can see the defenders are all moving across the court away from that, and she pushes it to the corner.
Set point here in the second for the Huskers. Huskers in the net, point for Iowa.
Checking into the game for Iowa, number 9, Gabby Terry. Back serving number 15, Michelle Urquhart.
Urquhart now back to serve. This will be the second set point for the Huskers. And the kill and the set for Nebraska. Well, the last 7 matches between Iowa and Nebraska have all been sweeps. They've all gone the way of the Huskers, and Nebraska trying to do it once again as they lead it 2-0, trying to make it 39-0 all time against Iowa. We are back at the Bob Devaney Sports Center in Lincoln. Nebraska on top 2-0 at the intermission break. You know, over the years, Nebraska has showcased countless All-Americans, phenomenal players, heavily touted high school athlete Kennedy Orr was set to be one of those, but her first 2 years were plagued with injuries, and that did not stop the senior serving specialist from becoming the backbone of this Husker squad.
Number 9, Kennedy Orr.
Kennedy Orr is an integral part of the Nebraska volleyball program, despite competition in the setter position. She has molded her role on the team as a leader, on and off the court.
I feel like now currently though, I'm a much different player than I was as a freshman. I have a lot more confidence, and I think that's just something you get with age. And I think I like to focus more on the things I can do off the court and for the team rather than just volleyball skills. I think that's important too, is giving to the culture and being someone on the team that people can go to when they need to.
Kennedy's a rare player, a rare student athlete this day and age, because things probably haven't gone as well as she wanted to or what she dreamed about, but she loves Nebraska. She's loves her teammates. She must like her coaches, and I just think she's really enjoying the experience for what it is truly meant to be.
Even with challenges on the court, Kennedy has shown leadership off the court. Her leadership style has been influenced by former player and now assistant coach, Kelly Hunter.
Every day, Kelly comes in the gym so consistently and just wants us to get better and wants the best for us, whether that's on the court or off the court. Nebraska volleyball, a big part of it isn't just listening, but also watching and learning from observation too.
In a world where players opt to use the transfer portal to see more playing time, Kennedy Orr has further ingrained herself into this Nebraska program.
I think Kenna's incredible. I think she really is somebody that is the glue of our team. I think that she puts every single person above herself, and she's so quick to accept any single role that she's been put into. She never takes any days off. Every single day, she's the hardest worker in the gym day after day, and I'm really glad that I get to be a player next to her, and I've loved getting to play with her these 4 years.
Well, she's no doubt a fan favorite, and speaking of fan favorites, middles have got to be the fan favorites here this afternoon.
Absolutely, the middles are rocking it here. They are taking charge. They're hitting collectively at an 800 clip. 16 kills between the two of them, no errors. You gotta love Nebraska feeding the middles, and those middles showing what they really are capable of doing.
Dominant performance thus far for Nebraska. They are hitting .413 in the match to Iowa's .190. And the middles, as you said, 800 hitting percentage.
Well, and we've got these great highlights. How often do you have this many middle kill attempts to show in a match? And we've only played 2 sets so far, so
we could show 16 of them.
I know. We've got great numbers, and again, look at the two of them individually. I just love that they're out there. They've been working hard. It's been a focus, and now it's great to see it come through in matches. Blackwell with a season-high 8 kills in her time here in Lincoln. So getting ready to head to set number 3. Nebraska in control. They've taken the first 2 easily. And Lindsay Krause is in the lineup for Nebraska here to begin set number 3. There's a look at Lexi Rodriguez, who has a season-high 3 aces today. She had 2 aces one other time. That was against Stanford. Other than that, she's had 1 ace 7 other times, and she now has 11 aces on the season for the Huskers. Lexi leads this team in a lot of different ways, and again, we've talked, even though she maybe hasn't had a ton of aces, she really causes problems for serve receive. May not always be an ace, but it is pressure.
Service error to lead it off for the Hawkeyes. Mauk in now to serve for Nebraska. Good choices up front for Bergen Riley in this rotation. You got Rebecca Alec, Merritt Beeson, Harper Murray. Pretty good rotation here for the Huskers.
Got the full deck up there.
And a kill off of the hands by Gracie Gibson, the middle out of San Antonio.
She too a transfer from Lafayette. Played 4 seasons there and joined this Hawkeye squad.
There's the freshman, Jamie Marquardt, not to be confused with Urquhart. They've got Urquhart and a Marquardt, and the Huskers have a Rebecca Alec.
Who had great vision there. Seen where the blockers were, turned it, sliced it right off the edge.
Never seen that guy on TV during a Nebraska volleyball. No, I'm not sure.
A unique individual sighting. First time on the air.
Oh, great hustle by Iowa to go into the first row to keep that one alive. Free ball here for Nebraska. Beeson did not clear the tape.
Cut it too sharp. We talked about that great cut shot she made earlier. Taking it across her body there was just a little sharp and didn't clear. Harper did a great job getting that platform, pushing that back into the court.
Goes right back to Beeson after the hitting error, and Beeson cleans it up.
And just Riley will do that, you know, and that just instills the confidence and shows that she has confidence in her hitters. And again, they know that as an attacker, she believes in me.
Zone 5 is what Coach Cook called. That would be Urquhart. They go right to her. Then slide the other way, goes off the block. Harper Murray with a block touch on the swing by Garcia. Then the slide by Blackwell. The tip, spin by Urquhart. Kept it alive. Free ball. And Layla Blackwell with another kill.
Highlight of the day's performance performance by Layla Blackwell. She's just doing a tremendous job in transition and seeing what's in front of her. And she's making those big shots, seeing what's available and finishing it.
Layla's mom, Nicole, played volleyball at Georgetown, competed in the old AVP. And another point for the Huskers as it doesn't get back across the net. Big Ten no stranger to Layla. She started her career at Indiana. She was at Indiana for a year, transferred to San Diego, made that run to the Final Four with San Diego, and now finds herself in her final year of collegiate volleyball in Lincoln. Good block touch there. And a big block by Blackwell.
Just a phenomenal work here. Just on the block, good footwork, and then being up strong. You saw that outside hand, which is the seam area of the court, really pushing to the middle. Great execution.
Led Indiana in her freshman year with .94 blocks per set. She was a leader in that category for the Hoosiers. WCC first team all-conference 3 consecutive years was Blackwell. 21, 22, and 23, as you see Urquhart with the kill.
And back to Blackwell, she's averaging 1.27 blocks per set coming into this match. And we've seen her have a great performance here today to add to those numbers, as well as her offensive performance.
I don't think I've seen that. I mean, I've seen it in practice. I don't think I've ever seen that in a match. I don't know if you noticed that. I don't know if you noticed that at home, but the ball on the serve stuck right between the antenna and the tape.
So suspended, wedged in there.
Good quick run. That's good tempo on that ball out to Urquhart on that left pin, and she put it away. Urquhart now with 9 kills to lead the Hawkeyes. She'll go back to serve.
Just that added pace on the ball really puts pressure on the blockers to close and gives an advantage to the attacker.
Back row, Beeson. Oh, the angle, and just caught that line.
Took a little bit off. Normally she comes in barreling and really driving through that ball. She took a little bit off, but used that wrist to control and direct it to that right back corner. Wow, great location, great execution.
On the slide. Between the blocks, she just beat the block there. Whittingstall with another kill.
And that's her best shot, coming around behind and just being aggressive. She explodes and pops up off that 1 foot as she comes around behind. And you can see the power that she has in that swing.
Urquhart, Whittingstall, Garcia all been very effective for the Hawkeyes. The hitting percentage of Whittingstall outstanding, .455 for the middle. There is Krause. Lindsay Krause, 1 swing, 1 kill.
Rodriguez, just a great pass here, and also Becca Alec for being so court aware and watching that ball. But I love that big strong swing and confidence in Lindsay as she comes out here and gets her first swing and kill.
Out of system. Back row swing is not down by Malo Garcia. Malo out of Honolulu High School in Hilo, Hawaii.
So why do you go from
island?
Hawaii to Iowa? I'd love to hear her recruiting experience and what drew her.
Yeah, I think what I've been told is the scenery and just the general beauty of the area is what forced her to Iowa, right? She missed the cornfields.
Yeah. Well, Merritt Beeson didn't miss that ball there, and great block there. She's doing a great job at setting up, and as a blocker of that, and if she doesn't have a middle, she knows what to do and adjust.
Yeah, who needs the cows in Iowa when you've got volcanoes in Hawaii? Cows falling all over here in Lincoln. Huskers lead in set 3, 11-5, and a first, how about that? First volleyball game. Doing great, Mom. Here's the leaders for Nebraska. Rebecca Alec with 9, Blackwell with 9. The Mills leading the way for the Big Red, and Beeson also with 9.
Yep, straight across the board. Talk about diversified offense and effective offense. Riley's running that right now.
Uh-oh.
That's trouble. She had so much space there. That could have been dangerous. Look at that, blockers can't close, but the middles are staying with Nebraska's middles. And so that's leaving Beeson open on that backside, or at least having a nice big hole. Action and reaction, they all kind of lend to advantages.
And the ace. Another ace for Nebraska. That is number 6. Bergen Riley now with 12 on the season.
Look at the movement on that ball as it's coming and drops quick right in front of Eckhart. Eckhart's really being pushed with Nebraska's focusing on her, keeping her under pressure with their serve.
Good timing there, and the kill by the middle, Gracie Gibson. Great set by Meitzler.
Yep. And again, Gibson right on top of that ball, just good connection there. Meisler, as we mentioned, kind of took on the starting role and just still a freshman learning how to find the ball or get the ball to her hitters when they need it and where.
First hitting error for a Nebraska middle, and Rebecca Alec was just wide. Tried to paint the line, just missed it. Good pass by Choboy. And Krause beat that block.
And again, Bergen Riley is running a phenomenal offense here. She's reading the block. The block has no choice but stay with Nebraska's middles. And because they're staying with the middles, they are not closing, particularly behind, and really giving that backside hitter a free court to swing at. Good turn there by Gibson. Gracie Gibson takes that ball and turns it back to the right side out of that quick transition.
Marquardt now back to serve for Iowa. Freshman out of Libertyville, Illinois, Libertyville High School. Alec wide again.
Yep, just a little bit, trying for that far sideline. The middles are working to paint those sidelines, not get at a hitter, but on the edges. She's just missed the mark a couple times. But again, complete clean game up to this point.
Good hustle by Mauk.
And right on the spot.
Big block. Gibson shuts down Harper Murray.
Nope, actually.
Oh, it landed on.
Yep, down the front of them.
How about that?
Hands there, but down the front. But a great up there to start that by Mauk. I mean, coming all the way from the back, right inside that 10-foot line.
5 kills for Harper Murray. That time it was a kill for Gibson.
Again, she takes that turn. She's taking that ball and turning it off to her left to the right side, right back of Nebraska. She's had 2 shots in that same location for a kill.
The block right at the net by Whittingstall. And Whittingstall, point for the Hawkeyes.
And they're creeping in, 11 to 15 here. A nice little stretch.
And another tip. Was it down? No, great pancake up.
I believe that was Meitzler.
And that time, Harper Murray says no tipping.
Yep. Enough of that. Let's take care of business. I love, again, that heat she puts on the ball. And she just slices it. You can see, look at that sharp angle. Takes it hard to the middle. She's just doing a great job diversifying, you know, with her shots. A lot of mixing up, keeping defense off balance. Showing a lot of shots.
Murray off the top of the block, but not down. And Urquhart from that left pin gets another kill. She's up to 10, double digits now for Urquhart.
Block wasn't quite there. You can see Blackwell just a little behind. Didn't get it closed up or hands up quick enough. Urquhart finishes it.
Good diving up there by the Hawkeyes. Urquhart with the tip. Murray's back over that little roll shot.
I just love Harper Murray mixing things up. It's good to see her out there using a lot of different types of shots, different tempos. And again, there, Olivia Malk down on her knees, popping that ball out to Murray. Players just stepping in and taking the ball they get and doing something positive with it.
Bump set from the knees, yeah. And there's another ace for Nebraska. That is now 7 aces for Nebraska, 1 for the Hawkeyes.
And that's a tough ball. You can see that angle of the ball going off the court. You've got to really get your body behind that, your platform behind, and keep it in.
Tried to go line, no touch, point Nebraska.
I like the thinking there of Urquhart going down the line, but she just misses her mark. Swings wide.
Jim Barnes will take a timeout. Huskers leading it here in the third, looking for the sweep. Three of those aces belong to Lexi Rodriguez, and the Huskers lead at 19-12 here in set number 3. Rodriguez among the best in the nation when it comes to back row play.
And she never ceases to amaze you. You think, oh, you know, yeah, but she comes up with big plays all the time, and it's just routine. I think the thing about her is to, again, we expect that from her, but it's still, it's almost like you can't believe some of the big plays that she makes out there and just keeps that ball alive.
Number 3 all-time in career digs, trailing only Justine Wong-Orantes, the Olympian, and Kayla Banworth, also Team USA member. So she trails only those two. You know, Rodriguez this year is averaging 13 digs per match on the season. Now that only 4 of Nebraska's 14 matches have gone more than 3 sets. So take that into consideration, right? But at this rate, as Nebraska's on a 4-0 run, on this rate, she would finish the year about 60 digs shy of the record of Justine Wong-Orantes. Now that doesn't take into consideration postseason play. So that's how close it is for her overtaking the #1 spot all time in digs at Nebraska. She's gonna need to pick it up a little bit, maybe need some 5-setters to help her out.
Yeah,
and then also
some long matches.
right, and then also go deep into the tournament. But she's certainly right there. She gets another dig there for the Huskers. Tipped there by, and the kill by Krause.
Well, she is definitely a phenomenal player out there and just fun to watch. And I know, again, she is in high company when you're talking, you know, Justine Wong-Orantes, Kayla Banworth. And that's a name a lot of people will not forget for a long time either, is Lexi Rodriguez.
Tried to go short corner, almost worked. It was open. I don't think Bisa would have got there, but didn't clear the net on the push by Malu Garcia.
And Garcia, great view of the court. 3 blockers in. That means those upper little short spots along the tape or along the pins are wide open as the defense is deep. So good vision. A freshman, like we said, she's going to be a good one. Is a good one already.
Good kill, number 11 by Michelle Urquhart. That ends Nebraska's 6-0 run. And the Huskers just 3 away here from the sweep. Krause off the block and another kill. Lindsay Krause off the bench has done well. She is now 5 kills, 5 swings, hitting 1,000.
That's exactly, you know, you get your opportunities. We've talked about Layla Blackwell taking advantage of her opportunities. Same thing here with Krause.
Crowd cheering for Maisie Bozinger, who's into the game now for Nebraska. Bozinger, serve specialist from Hickman, Nebraska, Norris High School. Great up back row. Krause from off the net, diving up by Gallus. Back row, Beeson. Gallus is there again. Sends it back over. Good job by Alec to keep that alive.
If you're not up for the block, then you got to do a defensive play, and that's what she did.
And Wittingstall shut down by Lindsay Krause, and Nebraska has match point in Lincoln. Row. Big block for Rebecca Alec, and Nebraska closes it down with the defense, and they sweep the Iowa Hawkeyes. The last 8 matches between these two have been Husker sweeps, and Nebraska is now 39-0 all time against Iowa, and a dominating performance for the Huskers.
And I would say a dominating performance for the Husker middles. Also coming through and being really the leaders of the offense today here, and really making it an opportunity for the outsides to be effective when Bergen Riley chose to utilize them as well.
Complete performance on a Sunday afternoon here at the Bob Devaney Sports Center for the Huskers. Nebraska moves to 14-1 on the season, now 4-0 in the Big Ten Conference. The Hawkeyes fall to 2-2 in the conference and 8-8 overall. They are at 500 on the season. Joined now by Rebecca Alec. Boy, that connection today with Bergen was just spot on with the middles. You know, why were you so effective?
Yeah, I think just communication. We've been doing a lot. Even just through the summer, spring season, and obviously now we've just been working a lot on communication. Coach always says echolocate, so despite what's going on in the gym or how we're connecting from the passes to the setter, as long as I'm being vocal, I give her a chance to find me, and I think we did that tonight.
Definitely, and also teammate Layla Blackwell taking the opportunity out there on the court to really, again, make a difference and make an impact. Talk about her and how she's really grown.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, I would say just even her personality before even getting here, like, or I guess like on the court, is she's just very calm, very collected, and she just exudes positivity. And so it makes it really easy for us to bounce back after errors, and I think that's why she went off tonight. I just feel like that kind of positivity radiates, and, you know, people are willing to take more chances. And so, you know, obviously she did really well today.
Yeah, I think one of the things that this team maybe has struggled with in the past is not always playing above the level, but playing to the level of competition. Tonight, you from the start were playing at Nebraska level. Was there conversation about that, and why was that tonight?
I mean, I would say it's an everyday type of conversation. We have our own standard here at Nebraska, regardless of who's across the net, what they're ranked or what they've been or what they do. It's always about us and like what we can control, and, you know, what type of level and what kind of greatness do we want to be. And so, yeah, it was just a conversation I have with myself regularly. Coach always brings in the gym, so just kind of sticking to what we always know, but today just showed a little bit more.
Rebecca, thanks for your time.
Yes, thank you.
Rebecca Alec, an outstanding match for Nebraska. She finished with 9 kills, 12 swings, hit .583.
As she mentioned, we're just working hard. We're seeing what's happening out on the court better and finding a way to be loud and to let Bergen know up and available, and it's really transitioning into big swings and big kills.
Joined now by the head coach, John Cook. Coach, can you just maybe describe the connection between Bergen and her middles today?
Yeah, it was, I describe it, it was really good. I don't know, they were clicking. You know, our game plan going in, I told Bergen we're going to run middle, so run it. And yesterday in practice, we worked on running it from good passes, bad passes, medium passes. And I just think they got a lot of confidence, and you could see it tonight. I mean, that was pretty impressive.
Also, Coach, you know, you're 2 weeks into conference play. How are you feeling your team? You've had the opportunity to play some other players out on the court, and they've stepped up. How are you feeling going into this third week? Yeah,
first of all, I love how we're playing as a team. And after our, who was our last match against Illinois? They just, you know, we really played well as a team, and it doesn't matter what lineup we're going with. I mean, we changed our lineup in Game 3 tonight. We're playing, I mean, literally everybody's playing but Skylar pretty much. And anyway, I'm really pleased with how they're playing as a team and as a group. And as we say, we feel playing with each other, for each other. And I just, you see it. It doesn't matter who we have out there or what the situation is. They're really doing a good job for each other.
Coach, thanks for joining us.
Okay, thanks.
That is John Cook. The final score, Nebraska in a sweep over the Hawkeyes. We want to say goodbye to our Big Ten Plus audience. If you're joining us on Nebraska Public Media, we'll be back here in Lincoln to wrap things up. Huskers win it in a sweep.